And that's looking pretty good. So we can go to some of these frames here and make some more things random. You know, like his neck orientation and stuff like that. So, you know, he's doing like a little kind of brains, you know, zombie thing. Anyway, so we have a repeatable walking animation now from 1 to 30. So we're going to remember that. And we're going to go back to default. And we're going to click a always armature with this guy. An always, and then action. And this is called zombie armature action. We'll go 1 to 30. And loop end. So it's going to loop after it ends. It's just going to keep going and going and going and going. So if we play this now, can't because we're in pose mode. But you know what? We don't want to play it yet, anyways. We're going to combine all the layers. Actually, I lied. We're going to stay on this layer, and we're going to add a box. Now this is going to be the zombie box. So I'm going to scale it on the Z-axis. Scale it, Shift Z. So any bullets that hit this box will affect the zombie. Okay. Now what you could do is lower this and add a headshot box that's a lot smaller. And if it hits the headshot, it'll do more damage. Which actually, yeah, why don't we do that? Origin to geometry. Just selected. Shift A. Cube. So the headshot box, anything that hits this headshot will be a insta-kill. Now we have to go this guy. So this guy's going to turn like that. And around this guy. So now what's going to happen is that guy around everything follow. Call this zombie box. This zombie head. Might go a little ways away. Zombie head. Now, zombie head is going to be a dynamic, no collision box. And it's going to be it's going to be a static box. This has to be a dynamic box. Also going to have always hit object track 2. Remember, this is called the purple box. This is always track 2. first off, scale him down a little bit because he's a little big for my taste. And now I'm just going to apply the scale. Control A, apply scale. Control A, apply scale. Control A, apply scale. So now if we play, it should be the right size. So alright. Okay, so what is going to happen is if this thing... I never add that? Oh, so he wasn't actually following us. I was right. So if we go back... and this is what I was talking about by does buggy stuff. So if we go back, he's not actually following us. He's going to go away from us for some reason. So what we need to do is first off, change the direction to the opposite direction. It's a little bit buggy for some reason. So we're going to change that to 0.07. And if we play now, he'll follow the right way. But we need to take this and rotate it by 180 on the z-axis. So now he should follow properly. So if we play this, he's following and tracking to us. But he's still going launching when we shoot him. So that's some other stuff we have to fix. So let's go here. And I don't know if I made our bullet a ghost. If our bullet's not a ghost, we have to fix that. So our bullet needs to be a ghost. Okay. We can go here now. And when bullet materials, so when it touches the bullet, when it touches bullet, it's going to what am I talking about? When it touches the bullet, it's gonna... Yes, I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so when it touches a bullet, we're gonna add a game property called zombie health. And this is going to be called an integer. We'll make it 10. 8. We'll make it 8. It's going to property add zombie health -2. And, whoops. When it's added, it'll go to -2. So we'll call this -2 health. And when property zombie health is equal to 0, that's for later, because we still need to make a death animation and things like that. It's going to kill him off. But we also want to we want to link these two. And when it's touched, when this part is touched by a bullet hole, it is going to property zombie health add. We have to make sure this is on add. Okay, add -8. I think it is our full health. And this way, a headshot is a one-shot kill. Maybe we'll go -4. So it's a 2-shot kill or 4-shot kill, depending on where you hit, or 3-shot kill, depending on where you hit. Or perhaps, never mind, I'm wrong. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, now that we have that all set up, what we can do is set up the health and the animation. So we are at 20 minutes. That's not bad. Wait, no, we're at a lot longer because I forgot that I did a time lapse. So what we're gonna do, how do I have this set up? Is we're gonna go into this guy's animation, and at 31 to 60 is gonna be his death animation. So at 31, that's the rotation. We gotta go into pose mode. That's the rotation. And by 60, he needs to be like that. He will have leaned over. Lockrot scale. Play that. Uh-oh. Okay, so we need to go here, actually, and apply Lockrot scale. Here. Apply Lockrot scale. Here. Apply Lockrot scale. And here. Apply Lockrot scale. Now if we go to 31, we can apply Lockrot scale. Now we can go back to 60. Lockrot scale. So now if we play that, it's going to look very bad, but he's leaning down. Okay, let's go back to the very first frame here. And so now let's go back to default. And with this guy selected, we're going to add an action, and we'll call this death. 31 through 60, going to play. Okay, so what we're going to do is back to this guy. When health, we're going to add 2 more properties, and this is going to be dead/alive. It's going to be an integer of 1, and this is going to be timer. Okay, so this is going to be very similar, and this is going to be at 80. Sorry, that took me a while to figure out. So when property health is equal to 0, it's going to set the property of dead or alive to 2. And when the property dead or alive is set to 2, so we actually need to connect these. That's what happens when he gets shot. And when property dead or alive is equal to 2, it's going to add -1 to the timer. Okay. And this has to be on tap, so it happens reoccurringly or whatever. And when the timer is equal to 0, then it's going to edit object, end object. And that should end the children as well, of the parent. Which sounds awful when I say I'm going to end children, but it makes sense. Now we're going to shift click on this guy and go into object mode. And so when timer is equal to 0, it's going to delete him. So let's go back through these layers here. And we will play and try and kill our zombie. So our zombie's coming at us. Where is he? I did not select that layer. Now we can play. And there we go. I messed up. When the timer is equal to 0, we don't want it to play the action death. Otherwise, there's no point in having that timer. When his health is equal to 0, that's when we want to play the action death. Okay? And we're also going to show all these game properties. Game. Actually, we always want to show those. Where is this little guy? So let's see how many shots it takes to the head. Quite a few more than I was expecting. Oh, I know why. Okay, so let's see. It's at 0. Registering as hits. There we go. Oh, okay. And also, forgot about this tracking thing. It's only going to track to the player. It's always going to have this always track. We'll call this track. If the property dead/alive is equal to 1. I guess they're always dead because they're zombies, but you know what I mean. So it's only going to track and it's always going to have a motion if it does that. Okay. So now we can try this again. Now what'll happen is if we shoot this guy, see, and then he disappears. One thing that is happening though is my bullets are going through him. And what we want to do is we're going to go to this layer here. There's also some other things that we're going to fix too. What I'm going to do here is go add a material, and this is going to be called zombie box. Zombie head box. And now we can go back to this bullet here. So when the bullet hits the boundary, you can see it gets deleted. We're also gonna change this to an any. I guess an or is what we want. So we're gonna go add 2 touches. Touch zombie box. Zombie head box. Touch zombie head. So when it touches any of these, the bullet's gonna disappear. So we won't watch it go through him, because otherwise that would be kind of weird looking, wouldn't it? So now we can. So it is a little weird. And the way you'd want to do it is with properties and not, boxes. But for my purposes of a game, it works, and it also makes it almost look like they have random health. Like their health is not always perfect, which is kind of neat if you think about it. So some things I'm now going to do is these trees are really high poly. And the reason I know this is because I was using for another game I had, and recently looked at their poly count, and they have quite a few polys. I thought they had way less than they actually did. But there's 3,000 polys per one of these. So I'm going to decimate it, and I think I went to 0.8, 0.4. I think it was 0.4. And I'm going to apply that. And the reason why is because it'll look basically the same, and it'll lower the poly count by almost 3 times. It's now at 3, or if I go to 0.4, it's now at 973 instead of 3,000. And this is going to reduce your frame rate a whole lot. Especially since you won't be seeing these a whole bunch. Did I apply these last ones? No, you have to apply them. Yeah, so that reduces it a lot. I'm working on a first-person shooter with a couple people from the Blender Artists forums, and was working on a map, and I have these low poly trees that I use because I suck at modeling trees, and kind of realized it's really high poly. And so everything else in the scene is really high poly. So if we grab everything in this scene, no, that can't be right. If we grab everything, is that serious? That really surprises me. So I want to know how many. I'm gonna Shift-D all this, Control-J it. So there's only, because otherwise it's not working, 33,000 on my scene, which isn't a lot. And if can we remove doubles? We can remove a whole lot of doubles. I'm gonna try and find what these are from. I bet it's from these shops here. No? No? Oh yeah. So already with these guys, we can remove a lot of doubles. I mean, look how many doubles there are in here. That's crazy. Whoa. Did I already do this one? And so, basically what I'm doing now is just reducing. I don't want to play Black Ops right now. I'm recording. Just reducing the amount of polygons in the scene. And you can see, this thing is now... I mean, I haven't done that one yet. But it's at 527. Which is so much less. Like, it's crazy. So now if we look at this, there's not a whole lot of stuff in the entire scene. There's not a whole lot of polygons. So let's grab everything. Shift-E. That's the only thing that seems to work for me. Mine usually says it up there. Let's Control-J it. All. There is 1,800. We've reduced it by almost half. And what you could do if you want to, you see how there's all these maps in here? All these UV maps? What you could do, just with my textures, is set them as an atlas map, which would make it one big texture instead of tons of little small ones. But I'm too lazy to do that, and may do it another episode. Who knows? So anyway, I'd like to thank you all for watching. This is one of the more difficult episodes, but we now have a zombie. So I mean, at this point, our game is fully playable. There are still different things we need to add, like ammo box, or just different things we need to add, like, I can't think of anything right now for some reason, but like definitely ladder climbing is one of the things that someone requested. But there's a bunch of little things that I'd like to add to the game, just make it a little bit better. Menus is one of the big ones. So next episode, what I'm going to be doing is, right now if we look at the game, I can spam that gun as hard as I want. And I can also... did my hand texture disappear? It did indeed. Okay, that's alright. We'll fix that. I can also use the... I can't use ladders. I'd like to add some ladders. So next episode will be that kind of stuff. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.